Iran.
Yep, go ahead. Gonna have to let you go, bro. You got a bad phone. Bobby in North Carolina. Bobby, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex, how you doing?
Good, go ahead.
You there?
Yeah, we got a phone problem. I'm going to put you guys on hold. We're going to work on that. Got a board problem in there. We're not getting audio to the callers. Again, the toll-free number to join us is 877-789-2539, and we will get you up on air. 877-789-2539. And coming up, I'm going to get into some examples of good things that are happening and examples of humanity getting awake, getting involved, and taking action. We're also going to look at some examples of corruption in government at the low level and contrast that with high-level corruption. We're going to look at GCHQ, that's the NSA in England, snoop through office emails. Anti-spy agency will monitor disgruntled employees in the UK. So they're just announcing illegal spying to everybody. Let's see if the phones are working now. Bobby, you're on the air. And callers we couldn't hear, call back. Bobby, go ahead.
Hey, Alex, how you doing, man?
Good.
Hey, I was wanting to talk about the Michael Savage book, Stop the Civil War.
Yes.
For the coming Civil War. I just want to thank you guys for, plugging it, because I would never have heard of it. That is simply one of the best books I've ever read.
Well, Savage understands they're trying to start a civil war. That's why I harp on it a couple days a week, is that now you can see it. I mean, how obvious is this getting?
I mean, it's terrible. I mean, and a lot of my friends don't even pay attention, or I guess they're happy watching sports or whatever.
Well, what struck you by that book is particularly informative?
Well, the main thing is that how so much blacks and Hispanics are really voting Democrat when the Democrats want to hold them down, want to suppress them.
Well, their agenda openly does that, and then the Republicans are like a placeholder that just act like they're fighting against it. It's a globally engineered system. And people have to understand that. I mean, anything you see being pushed by MSM is this larger agenda.
You don't hear on other news networks, or what they call the mainstream media, which really isn't all that mainstream.
Do you have any other points to make, or do you have any comments?
I just thank you, man, just for all you guys. It was just a great book. One of the best I've read. Can't plug it enough.
I hear you. It's excellent. I read it myself, and it was nightmarish to read it because it put into context all the things I've been seeing and that I'm so worried about. Now, I'm going to do this when we come back. I'm going to race through your phone calls. I want to take a lot of them. So, Joseph in Oregon, be ready. Cole in Tennessee, Shaw in Oregon, and many others. But thank you, Bobby, in North Carolina, for that phone call. And then I will get into some positive news examples that are out there as well. And we'll get into man-wielding knife stabs 4 people aboard Amtrak train in Michigan. Some of the headlines on Infowars.com. The cost of the Ferguson unrest is now $12 million. There's an incredible video. A factory farm whistleblower unveils disturbing video. Dog alerted al-Qaeda to Navy SEALs' rescue of hostages. Execution of Luke Summers. More war on terror propaganda. We're going to get into just some of the other news dealing with the UN and more straight ahead. The UN climate change fraud is imploding.
When I first got
in the near future.
When you realize how fake it all is, the football, the basketball.
Alert. Security alert. This is Homeland Security. Analysis. Infowars building independent media operation.
Let the worst people get controlled and tell us that we are the ones responsible.
Prime directive. Discredit Alex Jones.
Jones is the wildly popular conspiracy theorist.
It's a popular conspiracy theory talk show called Infowars.
Alex Jones is now in an Austin jail.
These people are assaulting us.
Targeting of patriots engaged.
They are never going to stop. They're never going to deviate from their program until we stop them.
Block free iPhone app at Infowars.com. Block free podcast and video feed. Imperative. Destroy Prison Planet. TV.
You got to set your eye on the enemy, not worry about what propaganda they put out. Intellectually, it's begun and you can feel it.
You want answers? Well, so does he. Live from the Infowars.com studios, it's Alex Jones.
We're into hour number 2 here, ladies and gentlemen. We're live. It's the 7th day of December 2014. I want to go to Joseph, Cole, Sean, John, Raptor Man, and many others that are patiently holding. Then in the next segment, more and more robot automated systems are going haywire. Drone collision scare at Heathrow. Rogue computerized cameras plague BBC News presenters. Want to live forever? Tech firm wants to create your own digital alter ego. That's just some of the news on that front. We're also going to get into people just in the offices being spied on by the NSA and the British NSA agency. So they've gone from denying this is going on to just throwing it in our face, even though it's illegal. This is part of the criminal revolution from the top of Western governments down. And so our anger should be focused at those pulling the strings and those controlling the senators, the members of parliament, the members of the House, the governors, not focused on the average bureaucrat that is a compartmentalized slave. All right, let's go ahead and talk to Joseph in Oregon. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yep, I put you on air. Go ahead.
All right. Hey, my name is Ivan. I'm actually Joseph's business partner. He had to switch me over to the
I got to let you go, brother. I'm sorry. I just... Sometimes we take calls and they're smooth and clear. Today it's been bumpy, and I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but I'm getting upset. Because what happens is I go to callers and they always say, I want to talk about this. Man, you're on air, brother. When you hear me hear the button, it goes, psh, and you're on air, you are on air. You are on air. Everybody's like, hello, hello, hello. Man, you're on air, okay? I love you. You're on air. Now, I'm going to explain to everybody who I'm going to go to. I'm going to go to Cole. Then I'm going to go to Sean. Then I'm going to go to Victor. Then I'm going to go to John. Then I'm going to go to Raptor Man and others. I'm going to take a ton of calls. In fact, I'm doing nothing but calls the rest of the show and some positive news articles. I'm going to take a bunch of them. It's going to happen today. All right? Now, drum roll. I'm going to go to Cole, and he's going to be on air from Tennessee. Cole, you're on the air.
All right, how you doing? Just wanted to say that everybody is on board with it. There's more people that know and that are waking up, like you said. And the president says, you know, everybody agrees with this this amnesty stuff, and I'm just getting frustrated. I got my, survival stuff all set up, and I got a few more things to get. But how, who's our champion? How do we change this stuff? We went to war for this nation over a tea tax, and the stuff they're doing to us now, it's ridiculous. And they don't, I don't know that much, but I know a little bit of history. And
well, the answer is you run for office, you elect good people, you promote a culture of liberty. We don't take corruption standing down anymore. We get upset about things. We promote freedom. We educate the young. We take back our communities. We defederalize things. We stand up against the state trying to promote racism. We realize the Democratic Party is the party of the Ku Klux Klan, here to create racial division. God bless you. Great point. And I'm sorry the other caller who said my business partner was on the phone, so now I'm on the phone. I don't mean to get irritated. It has nothing to do with you. It's just when the phones don't go smooth or we have technical difficulties, I get irritated sometimes because I want to talk to you. Now, I'm going to go to Sean in Oregon now. Sean in Oregon, you're on the air. Go ahead. Thank you for calling.
Hi, Alex. I would like to make the point that I don't hear enough of, and I don't pretend to hear everything, but Obama's open borders completely undermines any possible scenario under which this police state is there to help us. It's a fraud. I just don't hear enough about the obvious logical problem in that situation.
Well, elaborate on why it's a fraud. I agree with you, but...
Well, you go to the reports about how to secure our nation against terrorism. First among the items listed is secure the borders so no bad guys can get where they can do bad things.
That's right. We have internal checkpoints at the airport, but our borders are wide open, showing it's all a fraud. But our borders are really so that people can't come in and engage in criminal activity, so diseases can't come in, so that we can decide the type of immigrants we want, like Switzerland and others do, so that we don't commit collective suicide, dropping our wages and bringing in pliant groups.
It seems to me a simple point people can easily understand. The police state says it's there to keep you safe. Among the first things that they're charged with doing in the Constitution is protecting the borders, and yet they don't do that. It seems to me people can very easily understand that.
No, I agree with you, and that's why it's a fraud. Look, the political class, openly run by foreign interest, have conquered the nation through fraud. If that's ever exposed, and people realize the Federal Reserve's foreign-owned and is not federal, and things like that, it's game over. So what's the answer? Open the borders up, bring in 30, 40, 50 million people every 5 years, sign them up on welfare, enroll them as Democratic Party voters, and you'll have a voting bloc very quickly, like California, to take all the guns, all the private property, and everything else, unless you're an insider. The real discrimination is Google and Microsoft and Warren Buffett's companies and General Electric are almost completely tax exempt. Look it up. And they're the ones lobbying to raise taxes and take our guns because they conquered the country. They don't want us to have money. They want us poor. They've already taken over. I appreciate your call. Great points. Thank you so much. Let's go to John in Michigan. John in Michigan, thanks for holding.
Alex.
Welcome.
Well, what's your thoughts on these Bosnian people in St. Louis who were attacked? Like just a few days ago, the guy was beaten to death with a hammer. And then just yesterday, the lady was drug out of her car, and the people that drug her out said, they want to kill a white person or a Bosnian. They're ethnically.
Sure. What's happening is a lot of Eastern Europeans are moving in to some of the Rust Belt areas in the Midwest, Missouri up into Illinois, Michigan, and the racially based inner city black Klan members, basically. That's all. Just like poor whites join the Klan, poor blacks get into this race-based stuff. And they've been told by Farrakhan and others, and we played the clips last week, when they start to die, when they go out to get a Wendy's burger, then they won't do it anymore. Well, I mean, it's mainly poor immigrant whites that are moving into these poor areas, so they're getting killed. And it's just total racism. Just like a bunch of, buck-toothed or toothless white racists will pull over some black man walking from his job and drag him to death. It's just the same ignorant mindlessness. And if you want my view on it, that's what's happening.
Yeah, what do you think, though? I mean, because in Bosnia, it's in the Bosnian War. Most of them are coming from a war-torn country. I mean, the Bosnians, they splitted the parties and divided them along ethnic lines in the country, I could see a similar thing happening here. What do you think also about the Stand With Hillary PAC 2016? Have you seen the new commercial? It's total propaganda for Hillary.
No, let's go to the Stand With Hillary PAC, because I've seen some disgusting ads from them. And people say, oh, she'll never win. Well, wait a minute. The establishment is trying to force her in. In fact, we do have the ad. The guys were trying to get me to look at it earlier. I'll look at that during the break and talk about it after the break. Thank you so much, brother. Where are whites rioting everywhere? Every day I see articles about whites being drug out of cars, carjacked, shot, heads beat in with hammers, and it'll be in the local news but nowhere else. And where are whites randomly going out and rioting or attacking police over that? Because whites are accused all day of being ethnically based. Whites are the most unethnically based group I know. I mean, it's just pure bull. I'll tell you what, whites, on average, the ones I know that are successful are based. It's called money. They're into green, and they're into success.